Well, welcome to Rokani Media Football. Today we are back with a story coming in from Fabrizio Romano. Arda Güler, the wonder kid, 18-year-old, coming in from Turkey. Arsenal have been told the asking price of this player. Arsenal have been following, monitoring, scouting this player for a very, very long time, and the time is now. If at all they want to really get a permanent take over him, they need to pay this amount of money that Fabrizio Romano is going to head to really reveal to us. Welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Again, Fabrizio Romano has given us a very huge update about Vitor Roque. Very many Arsenal fans have been asking me about this young sensational kid who is playing in at Palmeiras down in Brazil and is scoring in goals for fun. Very good player. I think even earned his international call-up, I think, around 13th or 14th. He's a very good player. He's like Gabriel Jesus, but he is really clinical at his age. You really know that he's really a big deal, and Fabrizio is going to head to issue to us a very huge update about him. And lastly, Nwaneri, Athletic reporting that he might be leaving Arsenal, that young sensational talent coming in from the Arsenal Academy that Mikel Arteta gave his debut when Arsenal was beating Brentford 3-0 is really on his verge to leave Arsenal. So smash the like button, comment and share. Don't forget to subscribe if you're already watching us for the very first time. Endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on the stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name. Let's start it off with with the Turkish gem, very outstanding person or player, that is Arda Güler, will be now available for just 17.5 million euros fee net after taxes / solidarity. Yes, just 17.5 million euros for one of the biggest talents in Europe, as release clause will be activated after playing 1,500 minutes. Many top clubs trying to convince the player, and amongst those teams, it's Arsenal. Arsenal is one of those teams that have gone ahead to really show a lot of interest in this sensational kid that is Arda Güler. He is just 18 years of age and he's really a left-footed player, swift left foot. You need to really have a look at this young man. He's really talented. He's just 18 years of age. He plays for Fenerbahce, and obviously he's 1.7 meters tall and he is a Turkish international. When you look at his stats this season, he has gone ahead to impress. He has played in the season of 2022-2023, he played 20 matches, scored 4 goals and put in 3 assists. In the UEFA Europa League, played 9 games, scored 1 goal and put in 1 assist. That is the lad. And in the Turkish Cup, he played 5 games and scored 1 goal. When you look at him, it's exactly the kind of talent that Mikel Arteta and Edu will be obsessed about. You know, nowadays, that the transfer market is really ridiculous, right? The best thing they can do to yourself is to get in a player early enough. If you can get in a player early enough, then you'll find yourself in a situation of obviously getting him on a cheap. Now, if at all Arda Güler finds himself at a team like, for example, like Ajax, he goes there and gets close to 3 or 2 wonderful seasons. At the age of 21-22, Ajax will call in for 70 or 80 million pounds if at all he happens to hit the ground running and obviously keeps the consistency. Now, what Arsenal is doing is they are trying to get him at an early stage where they can get him on a cheap. I understand 17.5 million euros is really one of those fees that you'll say are really low, but for an 18-year-old, that is really a good amount of money. That's it, because those players at the age of 18, unless you are really exceptional, they go in for like 3 million euros, 4 million euros, 5 million euros. You saw those young players that Chelsea signed, Datro Fofana, 10 million pounds. So it shows you how much value this player is attached to, and Arsenal is in for the player. So if at all Arsenal wants the service of this player, they should pay that amount of money. He plays exactly in different positions. He can play as a left attacking forward, a right attacking forward. He can play in the middle of the park. He can also lead the line. But if you know Mesut Ozil, you can really now draw pictures on your canvases. on how this player really plays. But Arda Guler is a sensational talent. Generational, I must say, but he's exceptional also, as his impeccable abilities that he always orchestrates on the field of play have gone ahead to put him to that level of being one of the wonder kids. Arsenal is monitoring him, not only Arsenal, but even other Premier League clubs. And they are trying to convince him to join their teams. Now, who is going to win this battle? God knows. God knows, because it's not evident anywhere that Arda Guler is destined to a certain club, or he's preferring a certain club. Arsenal has to talk to the parents of the player. Talks have to be held, and after convincing the parents, then you go ahead and talk to Fenerbahce, and Fenerbahce will get you that player. But we all know that it's all about the player's decision. That's it. Because I remember 10 years ago, Aaron Ramsey agreed a deal to join Man United, and United put up a post onto their website. Guess what happened? A week later, the player changed his mind and went on and really signed for Arsenal. So those gimmicks are things that Arsenal should pay a lot of attention, a lot of attention to detail, to see to it that they really get in this young sensational talent. But if at all they get him, he's really great, and I think he's Premier League ready. He's not going to be like Marquinhos, according to me. He's Premier League ready, and I think he can come in through and obviously take on Bukayo Saka, because he is really a flamboyant player. Those that have watched him can evidence exactly what I've gone ahead to come in here and obviously tell you about. Now, let's go to Vitor Roque. He's another sensational talent. This time around, I've dedicated this first video of the day to these young talents. You know, he plays for Paranense, that is Vitor Roque, and Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead to issue a very huge update about him. I remember in the comment section, I've seen very many Arsenal fans asking me about Vitor Roque, as Arsenal really search for young talents all over the world on a cheap. Fabrizio has told us that Arsenal appreciate Vitor Roque, but have no intention to make an official bid, given the conditions. 40 million euros at last. Sorry about that. The deal to Arsenal is absolutely cold. So, Vitor Roque is a very good, talented player coming in from Brazil. Arsenal have always shown deep interest in the player, but Fabrizio Romano has told us that Arsenal really love the player, but they don't intend to make an official bid. Why? The player is expensive. At the age of 18, he's costing 40 million euros. That is it. So, it's really hard to really convince Edu and Arteta to go ahead and really pay 40 million euros for an 18-year-old who plays for Atletico Paranense in Brazil. Obviously, his numbers are really appetizing because he has gone ahead to really play 5 matches in the Libertadores and has gone ahead to score 1 goal. You know, in the under 20 championship of South America, he played 8 games and scored 6 goals. He's being tracked by teams like Barcelona and very many others, and you'll understand that if at all a player of his quality is being searched or is being really monitored by teams like Barcelona, and Barcelona are really soon coming to an agreement with the player, it's really something that you would love to really be attached to as a player, as a fan of Arsenal. And even Arsenal going head-to-head with teams like Barcelona is something that you'll always love as a fan of Arsenal, because you know that there is quality in that player that they are really pointing at. But the problem remains. The problem always remains. The amount of money for an 18-year-old. If at all a deal was like well structured that you pay 20 million euros right now, if at all he plays such and such number of games, we offer you like 5 million euros. We qualify for the Champions League, we offer you like 5 million euros. We win a league, you get such amount of money. Even if that deal is structured up to 100 million euros, it will be beneficiary to both sides. Wayne Rooney at Man United made Everton a lot of money. Every time United won a Premier League, qualified for the Champions League, won the Champions League, he scored 10 goals, 20 a season. Obviously, a team where he came in from, that is Everton, had to benefit. And I think the structures of this deal should change, because at the age of 18, there is no guarantee that that player is going to come out and really hit the ground running, however special he is. That's how Arsenal brought in Marquinhos, and we thought that maybe Marquinhos will be one of those to come in through and obviously hit the ground running, but Marquinhos is now playing at the Championship side. So I'm not judging Marquinhos that he's really burnt out, but I really understand that things should change. Things should change on how these deals are really being issued, because they're just one-sided. If you are really knowing the talent of this player and it's really extreme, then give a team a benefit of doubt to really come in through and obviously take it to the next level. So look at a player like Endrick, 16 years of age, playing for Palmeiras and has gone ahead to score very many goals. Madrid signed him for 65 million euros. The upfront fee was, I think, was it 40 million euros? And the other 20 million euros we are supposed to come in as add-on. So that means for Vitor Roque, it should be 20 million euros up front, 20 million euros to come on as add-ons. That's why these teams from Brazil like to sell these players to either Ajax, to French teams, Benfica, FC Porto. Why? They have a resale clause of some percentage. Like you saw Enzo Fernandez, River Plate had 30% of the 120 million euros that Chelsea paid to Benfica to earn that. So I believe that should be the mode of negotiation. But it said Barcelona are really closed into this deal. The player is so much interested in signing for Barcelona, and they're waiting to see whether Barcelona is going to go ahead and really sign the player amidst their problems they're having of money. That is it. And let's talk Nwaneri. A story being reported from The Athletic that this is serious doubt. There is serious doubt over whether he will sign a new contract to stay at Arsenal this month, with Chelsea amongst those ready to move. To move when he becomes available. The report further says that Man United, Manchester City and Chelsea are all interested in signing him if he becomes available. That is coming in from The Athletic. Nwaneri is that young sensational talent coming in from Arsenal that went ahead to excite very many of the fans of Arsenal. He made his debut the recently concluded season as Arsenal beat Brentford by 3-0. Nwaneri came on the field of play at the age of 15 and some days. So he came on the field of play, showing you that he has gone ahead to prove to Mikel Arteta that he's a very good and talented player. But if at all I'm Nwaneri, I would have stayed at Arsenal. You know, there is a lot of respect that you earn at a club where you've always been since your childhood. I think Nwaneri came in at Arsenal at the age of 10, 11, and he should emulate players like Bukayo Saka. I think with his talent and his structure, his physicality, he is just 1 or 2 years from really coming into that squad of Arsenal to start to compete favorably with the players that play in his position. He is a very good, talented player. I saw him at the under 17, at the under was it under 20 World Cup down in Argentina. He was playing for England and he did a very wonderful job. But I think if at all I'm Nwaneri, I would have stayed at us. Look at Hutchinson, who left Arsenal and went to Chelsea. Has he made any improvement? But if at all you know Hutchinson, if at all he stayed at Arsenal, he was rated highly than Nwaneri. But Nwaneri had gotten his debut, meaning that Hutchinson would have gone ahead to get more game time at Arsenal the previous season that Arsenal finished second into the league. And where he went at Chelsea, Chelsea are really having the worst of themselves, and they're trying to find themselves back. So that's what I had for you here onto the Rokani Media Football. Tell me your thoughts about Arsenal told Arda Guler's asking price by Fabrizio Romano, and then Nwaneri. What advice would you give him? Should he stay at Arsenal or he should go in at Chelsea? And lastly, what do you make about Vitor Roque, as Arsenal has pulled out of the deal because they are not willing to make a bid of 40 million euros. I sign out for now. See you later. First video of the day. More is yet to come. I'm out, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Ciao, ciao.